Good morning in Western Australia. Good morning, Emma.
Morning.
You look gorgeous.
I went to see Barbie. It was inspiring.
I understand that. I've tried to look for pink in my wardrobe and failed, Emma, but you look magnificent. Good morning to Western Australia. We're seeing Professor Quentin in. Good morning in Aotearoa, New Zealand. Piper from Adelaide is joining us. We've joined from all the glamorous locations around the world. Good morning, Piper.
Hello, how are you?
Better for seeing you, you glamorous, gorgeous creature. With your beautiful Adelaide light. So, colleagues, it's wonderful to see you all. And Shay's in. How are you, Shay? You might be just joining us, Shay, but we're so thrilled to have you in our lives. You wonderful, wonderful human being. And Adrian's back with us. That is tremendous. Hello, Sad. How are you?
Hey Tara, how are you?
Oh, better for seeing you, mate. Great to see you. So welcome to Right Club. This is what we do. It's a bit weird. So what we do is we say hi to everybody. We've said hi to everybody. And Shay, oh, Shay, I've missed you. Shay, you successful, fabulous, astonishing, inspirational, remarkable person. You rock. Oh, thanks for that. Yeah, well, you woo. So what we do, Sat, is we say hi to everybody, and then we write silently and intensely for 29 minutes, and then we come back together as a family and talk about how everybody's going. So it's great to see everybody in. The wonderful Ian is back with us, and as some of you have seen, Jane is back with us. We love Jane. We get, oh, hello, Jane. And she's just about to finish, colleagues. So let's hang in there. We're missing Dina. Dina is, Kylie's got, can we even run Right Club without Dina? Dina is having a meeting with her supervisors. And just so you know, colleagues, I believe from what I've heard, I will be Dina's principal supervisor to bring her home for the final 3 months. So it's a magical moment. We're missing Dina. We love you, Dina. And we'll see all of you in 29 minutes. Adrian, let's do this, mate. Let's write hard. Let's go for it. See you in 29 minutes, team. Josh, you rock, brother. See you on the other side. Come on, write that book for me, Josh. Colleagues, we are concluded. Emma, do you want to start us off? Oh, great West Australian to the stars. What were you working on during that Write Club? You were very focused. Sound beautiful, Emma.
Yeah, I'm doing a book chapter, and I was on the part of how you can do an interview so that the interview participant becomes a co-investigator with you rather than just an object of the investigation or a leader. So
I'm very interested in that. So is that's the next stage on from sort of the semi-structured interview. So how do questions alter with that sort of co-design protocol in an interview? Emma, are you there yet?
yeah, and this is a particular take on it. So realist interviews, which you've probably heard about, are semi-structured interviews that are supposed to happen through a teacher-learner cycle,
Yeah.
where the participant is chosen for their expert knowledge in something. And so the interviewer becomes the student as they listen to that.
That's
And
good.
interviewer is meant to become the teacher of, look, this is what I've heard from elsewhere about why that might happen. Can we explore those ideas together?
Oh, I'm interested. Gee, that changes everything, doesn't it? Megan, I'm going straight to you, Megan, because I saw your face respond there. That's a very interesting methodology for one, isn't it, Megan?
That is extremely interesting, and I want to know more, Emma. So very happy for you to email me, and yeah, that is really fascinating. I'm into co-design and co-production. So, sorry.
All sound, darling. Oh, hold on. Oh God.
I'm going to drop it into the chat right now. Maybe.
That's
Yeah.
fantastic because you're both at CDU, Megan, so it's fantastic. So Sweetness, you've had a hell of a fortnight. # no pressure. What were you working on during this little period that you've shared with us?
Chapter 1. Oh yeah, Chapter 1. Yeah, I've just gone fuck the world.
Okay. Technical phrase.
Yes, technical phrase. Yeah. So I'm actually writing about why book club. So I'm starting my thesis with why do we do book club? Why do we not this book club, everybody? It's like book club generally speaking.
Yeah.
What do people get from it? Why do people participate? What is the transference of learning, which is why I'm also so interested in what Emma is doing. So this is just blended in beautifully here. And I've just been writing. And I think I probably, by the look of the page, I probably did about 2,500 words. No spelling check or anything. I've just done it. Yeah. So Tara, I did send you my research proposal this morning.
I know you did.
Yeah. So I'm just over it. I want to move on now.
Yeah. She's moving on, mate. She is moving on. Look, I'm going to be listening to a lot of Neil Diamond this afternoon. I'm going to be in sort of hot August night mode, Megan, with you and I.
Fantastic.
Let's talk about crunchy granola. Let's do that.
Crunchy granola was our wedding waltz, and I got married in bright red.
Oh,
Yes.
I love that. So Megan, so I think let's all have a bit of a hot August night at the end of October, and I intend to be reading that while listening to Neil Diamond this afternoon. I started reading it to Kenny Rogers, The Gambler, can I say, Megan? And that was not right. I got too depressed, so I need to move to Neil Diamond. Let's do that. You're doing brilliantly. And so, colleagues, just so you know, Megan's now moving very strongly into the Brené Brown suite. Those of you that have been following Megan, and looking at the role and place of book clubs in developing knowledge in and around Brené Brown's work. So it's a very interesting methodology. So watch this space, Megan. You are the best. And speaking about other inspiration, our wonderful new friend, Jess. Jess, what were you writing on, Superstar? # no pressure.
Well, thank you all. I was working on my resubmission of my research proposal. I'm just going to do it and I'm going to get it done. And I've got 2 more things to answer.
Yeah, just
I can do it.
Yeah, just do it. There's a certain bit of life, Jess, that's about compliance.
Yeah, I'm just going to get shit done today.
Oh, it's all bloody happening this week. I tell you what. But yeah, look, mate. Look, at a certain point in life, you just, okay, you want me to comply? I'll comply. My brain is elsewhere. My brain,
Yeah.
my body is elsewhere, but I will comply, but you cannot control my thoughts or my dreams.
Yeah. Even as I'm writing, I'm thinking, but what if we did? No, I'll just get this bit done and then I can do that.
Comply, comply, comply. Jess,
Okay.
you are precious to us. Well done. We are so proud of you.
Thank you.
Oh, you're amazing. Should we go to the legendary Josh? I'm obsessed by Josh, but Josh knows this. Josh, what were you writing on this week? Because I mean, I need this book, mate. I need this book from you. What were you working on, Josh?
You're a bit psychic. Follows on perfectly from just going, I need to get this bit done and then I'm gonna do this bit. I think I'm very pathological with starting new stuff and having this extreme backlog of half-written papers that, you know, are worth publishing, but they're not the most interesting thing in the world. So I've decided now that teaching's done, I'll use this half an hour to just start chipping away the backlog so it doesn't haunt me at night as much. Yeah, so I've just been writing up a bit of SOTL on some neuroanatomy teaching stuff that I've had in the back burner for a little while. And yeah, it was great to just have the half an hour to bust it out. Yeah.
Josh, mate, I think Write Club is excellent for that backlog. As I said, I was talking about this with Paul a few weeks ago, I write pieces that I only write in Write Club. So I have all sorts of other writing that I do early in the morning, but I have particular pieces that I work on here and once a week return to it. So I don't know if that's useful, but you've got all of us as a family with you. So something going, oh, I'm interested in this sparkly object over here, and I got a beige tracksuit. Well, this is the beige tracksuit writing, and let's do that and get this through.
Thank you.
You're the best. And again, let's go antithetical to a beige tracksuit. Kylie, what were you writing on? Kylie?
I actually mentioned the beige tracksuit, and then I thought we were talking about eating messes a couple of weeks ago, and I'm like, oh, we go on some tangents, don't we? Oh, I was doing the beige tracksuit because that's what you wear. Writing in a bit more around the collection process of my data, because I'm a bit like Donna. She was talking about earlier. I've sent in my ethics mod, and now I'm just waiting before I can even find out a little sneaky look at the spreadsheet that I did get for free. I convinced the Australian Local Government Association and IPWEA to give me their data set for free. They don't get anything by not just saying, hey, could you give it to me? So yeah, so I've got it, and I've just got to wait till I can start playing with it. I've never been more excited about an Excel spreadsheet.
Oh, look, between you and Jamie Quinton, I tell you what, I've got a new love of Excel spreadsheets. Unbelievable. Well, Kyles, I'm thrilled. Look, it's a life lesson there, isn't it, Kyles? You
Yep.
just ask, mate. You just ask.
So
You know,
yes, beige, brown, tracksuit, or just writing about that.
Oh, I'm so excited. I know. I thought that's huge, because that would have A, cost you a lot of money. B, would they have granted you access? Oh, I'm thinking that's exciting.
Yes, very exciting. And I do have to share, I did share with Tara, and I'm sure she mentioned it, Jamie, I did get my paper that I submitted has gone past the editor's desk and is now out for review. So I've got past the first gate. Yes. And I know it's as boring as about shit, but yes.
See, it's beige. We're having a beige tracksuit day. See, part of what a academic CV is beige tracksuit after beige tracksuit after beige tracksuit, bit of Kenny Rogers work, and then we move ourselves up to crunchy granola, right? Let's do that, Kyles.
I'm going to play that after this now. I've got to go and put it on Spotify.
No, I tell you what, Neil Diamond is going to keep me company with our gorgeous Megan. Brilliant. You're an absolute superstar. Oh, Mary's straight in. Mary, are you having a bit of a crunchy granola moment? Talk to us, Mary.
Well, I'm having certainly a beige tracksuit week because I spent 7 hours on my ethics application yesterday. But you know, honestly, I find the beige tracksuit moments are quite good because you're really laying the foundations for your research. You're checking that you've got all your ducks lined up. You're making sure you haven't forgotten anything, you know, and it does make you excited for when you're going to start doing that writing that you really want to do.
I know. I think that's right. And so you were doing the nightmare ethics stuff, were you, mate? You were doing that? Yuck.
Yeah, well, we did get it. Actually, to my joy, when I finally got into the ethics program, I needed to get access through my supervisor to then upload everything we've adjusted. And so the number of attachments documents is now doubled, and I had to put in everything again in the main ethics thing and dealing with computer software systems, you know, in computers in universities is often, a bit fraught. They all act a bit funny and stuff like that. So I just spent the day on that admin stuff, but it's done now. It's off. My supervisor can now look at it, and hopefully it'll get to the ethics committee meeting in November, and hopefully they'll come back with yes, because that was answering 59 questions that they came back to after a meeting in August, I think, or September. No, in September.
Oh, right. So I'm horrified at that. That is right. That I'll go straight to Piper at this point, because Piper is about to go. We're doing our confirmation of cancer quickly, an early COC with Megan. So these two are going to be together, so we can go quickly to ethics. So Piper, try not to be depressed from Mary's mods there. What were you writing on, Piper?
I was thinking about the last question that you sent to me about being pessimistic about the workforce. So I was actually trying to be more optimistic, and I was I'm just working through some thoughts about it, but I'm trying to argue that I'm free because I'm not in the university proper. So the more casual you become, the more freedom you have. And I'm just trying to push you.
Yeah, see, and the trouble is, of course, that's what I'm working on at the moment, Piper, as you know, the notion that neoliberalism grants you freedom, right? It gives you freedom to starve. It gives you freedom to not have stable housing. Yeah. So, but again, so just colleagues, so, Piper and I, besides doing her thesis, once a week, we write each other a question that we answer. And this is also becoming a second piece about sort of women, a very, very old woman close to death and a very young, beautiful, glamorous woman who are somehow together in a supervisory relationship and trying to not kill each other. And so we actually ask a question and answer it each week. And it's ended up quite interesting, isn't it, Piper?
Oh, it keeps me going. I absolutely love it.
And you poke me, you poke the old goth. It's unbelievable. So Piper, well done. Again, good use of this time for that as well, I think. Should we go to the legendary Adrian? Oh, Adrian, how are you, mate? I'm so excited. What were you writing on, mate?
Well, I was actually quite inspired by what James said in the last catch up. I was getting into Samoan ontology and taking bits of the transcripts from our Talanoa sessions, so our interview sessions, about where the collaborators were talking about some of the words used in Samoa that emphasize interconnection. So the word for like land is the same for placenta and things like that. So there's the language replicates this understanding of interconnection, and even like the use of plurals and all that sort of stuff is just really fascinating. So yeah, I mean, my writing is about intercultural illustration, and so as an illustrator, I need to know Samoan culture in order to visually communicate the messages of the meaning held within the Samoan legends that I'm illustrating. So yeah, it was just kind of getting into this idea of ontology through language and through the transcript. So yeah.
Does anybody feel a lot smarter now? Oh, Adrian, that's unbelievable. And that is beautiful use of ontology, mate. That's beautiful. Oh, I thought you were going to say something else mythic. Speak. I'm just in awe. Say something. Right.
No, look, it's James' identification on ontology was good for me because it just, I think you can get caught up in these other spaces. And then when you say, look, this is ontology, you're just reminded of what it's all about, and I can argue further now into why it's important for me to go into this space. And I think though, because I can get caught up, and I think naturally as a non-Indigenous person doing research in Indigenous space, it's very easy to get caught up in the politics of it all. And a great example of this is when I was working with my collaborator and I talked about this pressure to decolonize the research. And she looked at me and she said, You need to drop that word. And I went, oh, okay, tell me more. And she said, well, for us, when you say decolonizing, it's recolonizing, because it's your word. How about you use our words instead? So that, I think, it was just this like mind-blowing moment where I just went, it's just another, this pressure to decolonize everything is just another layer of Western imperialism. And we just need to just sit and talk to people and learn from them directly. So yeah, it's good stuff.
Adrian, that's the power of ontology. I mean, I am moved. I feel bits of me have been changed through that conversation. And we learn a great deal, Piper, about our universities, that we focus so often on methodology and epistemology, the relatively easy stuff, because as Adrian said, the ontological work unsettles the very foundation of higher education if we take it seriously. So Adrian's work is just powerful. And should we go to the inspiring woman herself, Jane, that's changing everybody's life? So Jane, you're nearly finished. Beautiful girl. Now, what were you writing on in this finishing moment, darling?
Thank you for your advice on the last sessions. I was thinking about whether I should put another chapter on my thesis. It's already have 7, or in the Waters terms name. I don't know whether I should put one more, which is the eye of the cyclone. Because that's the what went wrong chapters, and you all know that I've been doing this one for 6 years with 7 different supervisors. And that word Adrian just said, the colonization, is the word that I was not supposed to do, but now I'm going to do that. I'm just using different words, like with the cosmos ontology. Why modern white ontology is not fit to me, because they still think in the oceanic way. So it's not always liquid, they have ice as well, it's hardened, but the water is salty. And they give the example, like, if you don't believe that you are an ocean, just test your tears. But I said, no, we are the cosmos. If you don't believe it, test my milk. The sweetness, the tasty, everything is in us. We are all the miniature of the universe. So that's the whole. It's not just part of dry or wet. So that's what I'm thinking about my next chapters.
Oh, look at Ian. Ian and I are like going, look, I've changed in the last couple of minutes. Jane Darling, that's again, I watch you over and over again, so I get the information and the knowledge that you're giving us deeply. Jane, just to the very small variable about putting the problem into the work, instead of a new chapter, you're nearly finished, darling. I'd make it a chunky bit of your conclusion. I'd have a section of your conclusion that is, when stuff went wrong. Examiners love that. And darling, the characteristic of a great thesis is a big conclusion. The weakest theses have a small conclusion. The powerful theses have a big conclusion.
Thank you, Tara. I do that.
Oh, you're amazing. And look, Gay was straight in there. So beautiful, Jane. Gay, talk to us, beautiful one. What were you working on? And talk to us, darling.
Hi, I'm still trying to get hold of the ontology thing. So can I just give you what I'm looking at, and we could so most people, when they look at wars, look at the war as the war. So when they're looking at soldiers, they're looking at the people who are in the war. They're not looking at their lives. So what I've just started a new project, which is looking at, it's a prosopographical study of people in the township of Windsor in New South Wales who enlisted in World War II.
Brilliant.
But they enlisted in Windsor. Everybody else enlisted in Paddington in the middle of Sydney. Yeah. So, and there were 17 of these people, and I wanted to know why these people enlisted in Windsor rather than going into the city and enlisting there. So the interesting thing is that all of these 17 people joined the Volunteer Defence Corps.
Yeah.
Which was kind of like the English Dad's Army.
Yeah, yeah.
So what I'm trying, and it's really exciting that I discovered this.
Brilliant.
Very little is known about the Volunteer Defence Corps.
Brilliant.
So this is fun. But what I wanted to ask was, is the, because my focus is not just on their military service, but on their pre-military service and their post-military service. So the whole life.
Yeah, brilliant.
And so talk to me about that with ontology, please.
Yeah, so the war is like that. War, and in war studies, and when one does history, as we all know, war is the punctuation. So the war ontology enfolds history. And yet, of course, most of the time we are in moments of peace. But peace studies is a very, very small paradigm around the world with some, can I say, magnificent research and researchers. But that's a different ontology. If one comes to the world studying war, and obviously the world is at war in an absolute catastrophe at the moment. If we come to an understanding war, then it is a particular way of thinking about masculinity. And in your case, I saw Kylie nodding. So Windsor, there's all these fantastic stories of these local communities, these small towns and cities that they all join together. So there's fantastic stories there, but that's about a story about mateship and men joining together to go to war. Now, that's a great ontology and it's important to study that. But there's all these other ontologies about peace and about the people that didn't enlist, the people who made different decisions to occupy different spaces, Gay. And so, and of course, my grandfather used to get white feathers in the mail because he was one of those people that didn't enlist, made a decision to be a pacifist. He also couldn't read or write, so he was also embarrassed that he would be found out at a time of war that he couldn't read or write. But that's an example of a different space, Gay. So if it helps you ontologically, when we're trying to think about it, we're thinking about a space in which objects and people and stuff and words make sense. And yet there are some people, some scholars that decide to work outside of that space and have objects and people and ideas and words organised differently. Does that help, Gay?
So what a family historian said something really interesting in that most people look at war as the big thing, whereas what we should be looking at is as war as part of life, a life.
Yes.
So it's only a segment of the overall life.
Oh, absolutely. But I suppose and I agree with all of that. Let's hope it's part of life. Let's hope it's not everything. But there's something lovely ontologically speaking by saying, what if we actually say war is not part of life? That war is a version of life and reality that I deny, that I step away from to find a different way of thinking about human beings. That's the ontological moment. But let's keep going with that, Gay. You are brilliant. And I can say it's a great project. I'm obsessed by Windsor.
The interesting thing was that these people all had reserved occupations, which is why they didn't actually go overseas. So they joined up to defend Australia if the war came here. And they were basically farmers with one primary school teacher.
Isn't that brilliant? Oh, look, I can't wait to read it, Gay. That is absolutely brilliant. You're amazing. Should we go? I'm conscious of time. I'm not going to get round to everybody. Can I go to gorgeous Kirsty? I'm always obsessed by Kirsty and her lifestyle location. So Kirsty, oh, you're looking glamorous too. Love the stripy work this week. So what were you working on, Queen Kirsty?
So yeah, apologies for being late. I had a plumber issue, but anyway, sorted. And then straight into, I've decided I'm creating my presentation. I really need to concentrate on creating my presentation for the ANZCA conference. Yes. This is my first conference that I'm speaking at, and I'm really nervous, and it's just presenting initial findings, but it's just trying to work out, because I've got findings in gender and trusted messengers and the youth cohort and their pro-environmental behaviours, and also the effective communication and what communicators think's really effective and how we could be doing it moving forward, and speaking to people. And it's like trying to jam that into 10 minutes. and include my theoretical framework and everything. So it's quite challenging. But I think I'm getting there. I'm just in that really scattered place. However, what I must say is I listened to that video. I said I was going to listen to the vlog about mid-candidature review, and our university doesn't do them. So I decided to do one on myself and send it to my supervisors and talk to my HDR coordinator about it. And it just changed my life. So thank you very much for that. I realized that I actually am doing quite well. However, I also realized what I had to do that I didn't really want to do because I wanted to get onto the research that I really care about. But I've really got to address that as well because I'm surrounded by scholars who care about that. But, you know, I'll do that. And then, yeah, so it was really, really helpful. So thank you very much for that.
Kirsty, I remain at your service, but just to help you with that conference presentation, I'll use the old journalism line, summoning my mates. Hello, Jackie Hewitt, who always watches this. Kirsty, the line is always don't bury the lead. So if you were going to have one thing about your research that you'd like to put on a Kylie Munn t-shirt, right? So there's nothing better in a presentation with a question that's a provocation at the start. Like, have you ever considered this? Or did you know that? And that's your first sentence. And then you've got them.
Okay.
And then the methodology and all the interesting diverse data sets that you've produced can come. But start with did you know that? Or have you ever considered? You got them.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Just ponder, see how it goes and report back next week. And look, can I finish with my beautiful mate that I don't see enough and changes my life? Shay, how are you? Sweetness. You're a legendary human. So Shay, mate, what were you working on and how you going, mate?
I'm great. I was working on a little project where I've embedded my doctoral design work in new teacher education over 3 cohorts, and I've got some data. So I've got 200 assignments where they've engaged with my work. It's just very introductory, toe in the water, but I'm really excited. So I'm starting to put that together in a report and an article.
Oh, Shay, that's amazing. And Shay, can I introduce you to Josh? So Josh is doing a lot of work on SOS, Scholarship of Supervision, and Scholarship of Teaching and Learning. So Shay, Josh, Shay, and I'd love to read that, Shay. You're gonna get that published?
Yep, absolutely.
That's amazing. And by the way, Shay, I hope I have a date with you in about 6 weeks when we do our whiteboard soiree next time.
Oh, love a whiteboard soiree.
Because I can't manage without you. I thought about you this week, so to see you now is just breathtaking. You remain an absolute inspiration. So colleagues, sorry I didn't get round to everybody. You are very, very precious humans. Ian, we love you. And can we just all do an enormous wave to Dina? Dina is a spectacular human being. We miss you, Dina. And Dina, you're nearly home, sweetheart. See you next week. Colleagues, have a lovely week. Megan, let's do a bit of crunchy granola this afternoon, bit of Neil Diamond work. See you on the other side. You rock, Kyles. Bye. See you, Megan. You got it, mate.